Well, here we are once again, and another ICE agent drags a elderly man out of his house naked. I think you seen that yesterday. Then hmm, hmm, we dragging disability ladies out of cars. Interesting. And then as I'm watching on the news right now, I'm not gonna play any videos or anything. He's there right now, yapping and yapping and yapping and yap. What he's should have been not accommodated. What his accomplishments were, if any. But I'm looking at the TV, and I'm saying to myself, thinking I'm saying to him, if I were in his face, I would tell Trump, you haven't accomplished anything. Nothing. No, I take that back. What you did accomplish was terror in the United States of America. No different from what happened in Nazi Germany. But then I get people from last night saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. But apparently, when you read into Nazi Germany and what transpired back then, it was the same as now. Soldiers in the street opposing as cops, but it's more like martial law. But we don't see that. We don't see things past what's what's reality and what isn't. And I'm just waiting for the day, if anything doesn't happen in November or past November, when people go out to vote for for that Senate seat, for Senate seats, and those seats do not turn blue, and we have to deal with this man for the next 3 years, you're going to see more terror than you ever seen in your entire life. He's already talked about uh, revoking the Insurrection Act. He's already done that. But right now, I'm just looking at him just rambling on about his accomplishments, if any, which he hasn't accomplished anything. He keeps talking about he made deals with Japan and Tokyo and other places. So, I mean, it's hearsay. But the joy that I have is only but a brief joy, only for a brief moment when I see Jake get dragged. I mean, going back to January 6th, I heard this man grabbed a baseball bat and started swinging at cops. Now, fast forwarding on to yesterday, he ends up he ends up getting his ass whooped. He bleeding out, and hopping into a random car. And when he hopped into a random car, they they was trying to drag the protesters were trying to drag him out the car, drag him out the car, beat him up some more, but the car took off. And it was reported that he was saved by a Muslim. Now, did he thank that Muslim? I don't know. That was the one number one joy. The actual true joy is celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. Um, Martin Luther King was extraordinary, even though, I mean, there are some differences, which I don't agree with the amazing Lucas on certain things. I mean, he he does deserve our respect, even though he could. I mean, he didn't stay alive long enough. He was assassinated. He didn't stay alive long enough for us to realize the true patriotism. And the true patriotism is the the uprising of Black Americans here in the United States. And it was going to be with the help of Malcolm X, it was going to be extraordinary. Fortunately, we didn't get to see it. Unfortunately, there are certain evil forces that did not want Malcolm and Martin to coexist. We're talking about two powerful forces, two powerful influences, with the help of Coretta Scott King and others. And then Trump's not celebrating, he doesn't care or give a damn less about, Martin Luther King's birthday. He would just rather put a statue of himself and say, look here, I accomplished, boy, excuse me, I accomplished more than Martin Luther King has ever done in his life. And straight disrespect. Then of course the whole civil rights thing, how he's proclaiming that civil rights was offensive to white people. I'm like, hmm. Well, I did a video on that, and then I got Trump haters. I don't know if it was Trump haters or it was white people, period. They didn't like what I had to say. Fuck them. um, I mean, it was what it was, and it is what it is. The truth is the truth. The light is the light. People have no rights interfering, infiltrating, or getting involved in black shit. We don't get involved in all. We never got involved in your Jewish holidays. We never got involved in any of your European centric stuff that y'all do. Let us have our holiday. Let us have our our, our movement of I want to say social economic statues. But apparently, not everybody. I guess not everybody thinks that it could just, they don't believe in groups and stuff like that. They don't believe in blacks should be with blacks and whites should be with whites. There's like, this is America. And if you don't like America, you can always get out. I said, this is a land of opportunity here. You don't belong here either. You do not belong here. And if you think you belong here, I want your grandparents, your great great grandparents, your great 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 grandparents to show the receipts that you belong here. And I'm going to show you that you're not. We may not belong here, even though our lineages stretch a long ways. We are the firstborn. We are the first sons. We are the first moms and pops. You, however, are our cousins. Or better yet, not our cousins, our children. Because two black people can get together and have a white baby. It's called an albino. But right now, I'm just listening to Trump mumble, 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 while his while his tax dollars, or the tax dollars that are being used to spend on Homeland Security and ICE in a total of, I would say, approximately $170 billion, and you think you're getting you think you're getting special, something special back on tax? You think he's lowered taxes? He's spending your money on nonsense. He's spending all that money on military shit, when quite frankly we got our own issues to deal with when it comes to homelessness in America, when it comes to jobs in America, when it comes to food, when it comes to certain accessories that are needed. I'm just listening to him babble. And oh, by the way, that lady that ICE dragged out of the car, and people say she interfered in ICE affairs. What affairs? They had no jurisdiction. They never have any jurisdiction. They have no business on American soil. They have no business fighting in most communities that I can mention, black, Hispanic, or otherwise. They have no business there under the guise of the the 20, I think it's the 20th Amendment. They're not supposed to be there. I think I got that amendment wrong. What should be provoked right now is the 25th Amendment. But I'm just waiting on November. I'm waiting on November. If you have not done so, go to my petition, sign the petition. Uh, what was it? Change.org/swearing Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. Right now, she is campaigning. She's campaigning and she is doing what she can do and getting those people in Houston, Texas, a reason to vote for her. And hopefully she's one of those ones that'll be in that seat. And Trump is so scared. He is frightened. He is freaking frightened. I don't know why he's so terrified of black women. That's just crazy work to me. Oh, on to speaking of celebrities. And Donald Trump is a celebrity, by the way. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's a capitalist. And plus, he's a celebrity. Speaking of celebrities, I have a question. Why is everybody on Luda? Why is everybody on Ludacris? What did Ludacris do? Does anybody know what Ludacris did? Does anybody know what Chris Bridges did? Anybody know what Bridges did? I want to know what this man done. Some people said that he was selling out like Nelly. Nelly, let me explain something about Nelly, about Snoop, about Scarface, about any of these elder rappers. They gonna sell out anyway. What do you expect from people who don't read much into politics, oh yeah, or history? There are very few rappers who read into that shit, who read into their history, who who read into a whole bunch of shit. What do you expect to gain from Ludacris? That's insane. That is definitely insane. Everybody's getting mad at Ludacris because I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to figure out why is everybody so mad at Luda. I'm laughing about it because it doesn't bother me. Oh, it doesn't bother me because Luda. I don't expect Luda to raise a fist. I don't expect Luda, Snoop, or Nelly, even though he's married to Ashanti, which is a beautiful thing. I don't expect them to do anything because they live in their own little world. We need real leaders. We don't need Ja Rule. Where is Ja? Where's Ja Rule? Ja Rule ain't gonna have no. Nelly ain't gonna have the answers. Ludacris for damn show ain't gonna have no answers to this to this democracy that's going on. He ain't gonna have no fucking. Well, black women get mad at Luda for what? What are they getting mad at? I don't get it. I don't get it. But then again, I do because you figure you buy his albums, you supported him throughout the years. You bought his concert tickets. I get it. I totally get it. But that's what they're there for. They're there for entertainment. Busta Rhymes is there for entertainment. Jay-Z, everybody that thought that Jay-Z was going to do something, Jay-Z is there for entertainment. He's a capitalist just like Diddy. Diddy was a capitalist. No more, no less. All that vote or die shit. He doesn't know what does he know about politics? What does he know about getting it done? What does he know about building? All you see is Sean John and some liquor that he's promoting or was promoting. That's that's crazy work. That's crazy work right there. He got the Nazi
Good
party
morning,
here.
everyone. I'm Mark. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Gurley, Police Chief of the City of Brooklyn Park. Behind me is a bunch of amazing police chiefs that are here in support of a very short but very important message that we want to share with you. What you won't hear from any of us today is rhetoric of abolish ICE or that there shouldn't be immigration enforcement. The truth is, immigration enforcement is necessary for our national security and for local security. But how it's done is extremely important. In fact, we have a long history of working exceptionally well with our federal partners, including ICE agents, and we have seen the best of them perform their job extremely well in the past. With that said, recently, as the last 2 weeks, we as law enforcement community have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from US citizens. What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally. As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaint.
Like I said, the millionaires and they can do whatever the hell they want. 50 Cent had what I think he was the first person to promote vitamin water. If everybody remembers, now he's promoting some type of new alcohol or something. I don't pay attention to that. But power is still in effect. I just don't watch it anymore because the one guy that I was watching it originally for, they killed his character off. I thought that book 2 or book 3 or possibly 4, they were going to bring James St. Patrick back. Obviously, that wasn't the case. What happened with Tasha, though? I wonder what happened with Tasha, though. Does anybody know what happened with Tasha? I stopped watching it after that. What do you think of Jay-Z um, investing millions in a plane and jet rentals? He's a millionaire. Excuse me, he's a billionaire. I'm sorry. Motherfucker can do whatever he wants. Oh, so she did go to jail. Okay. So she did go to jail for her baby boy, who is now tiptoeing and kissing the ass of his Uncle Tommy. First, Uncle Tommy wanted to kill him. Now they're joining forces with. I don't even watch the show. I don't even watch the show. But the bottom line is 50 is doing great. I don't listen. All that sneakiness that he's doing is like and coming out with books and shit. I was like, that's part of the game, yo. What happened with G Unit? That's all part of the game, yo. But my point is with 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj. I didn't expect Nicki Minaj to jump out the window, but she is banned from the black community. As a matter of fact, there's still a petition out there for her to go back to Trinidad because she is not from this country either. But that's one of the other things that is very, very dangerous and not what I want to talk about. But before I get to that, I just need to know, since you're here, Why is everybody so mad at Luda? Why is everybody so fucking mad at Ludacris? What did Christopher Bridge do? Why does every why is everybody so mad at Fast and Furious? They're selling it. They are saying that he is a sellout. What is he a sellout for? There are these. I heard it on some show. They said he was selling out to something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I don't know. But if he has gone the Nelly route, if he has gone the Snoop route, no one gives too much of a good goddamns about Snoop anymore. Snoop is 50 some years old. Nelly is 51, 52. Snoop is close to 60. Nelly is in his uh young 50s. No one cares to listen to or have a big ass concert and bring back country grammar. No one cares. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to a country grand concert if it was free. I remember when he was here. I mean, the crowd was jumping when he was here. When he was downtown Las Vegas, the crowd was jumping. The crowd was going wild, but they had some other acts there, and it was a crowd, but it was New Year's, so no one wants to listen to old acts talk political. No, no one. I wasn't idle to the rap game. This dude left to car racing movies. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Eventually, you are going to end up doing something else. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, he was good in Fast and Furious too. Now he's about to be in Fast. They're going to make Fast and Furious 10 Part 2 or something like that. It's coming. It's coming. And I mean, he's pretty good, but don't expect political. That's my point. Nikki, she overstepped her boundaries. And Cardi B, again, overstepping her boundaries. I don't expect her to raise a fist. I don't expect her to lead anything because she's not going to lead. She is incapable of leaving. And to most of these Negroes or most of these people who are immigrants, because she is an immigrant, Nicki Minaj is an immigrant. Most of these Negroes are immigrants or have immigrants in their family. So you're gonna end up calling immigration on them, or calling ICE on them too. You're gonna end up calling immigration on them too. Which, for the life of me, in our regular everyday lives, we wanna now call ICE on people. Is that where we're going? I'm curious. We're just gonna call ICE on people. Call ICE. Really? Is that how low we're gonna go? especially with people who would who already have businesses. I think there was some lady that went to a Jamaican spot, didn't like the food or whatever, got got a little sassy. There was a little bit of back and forth. Number one, I will say to the person who was making the food, don't be argumentative. It is stated that the customer is always right. Give them whatever they want and they will leave you be. On the other side of it, if you didn't like the product, if you didn't like the food that they were serving, why are you even going back? Why are you even harassing that lady? So I see it on both sides, but one side got a little vicious, a little snippy. The other one said, fuck them, they're not from here, blah, 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 blah. I want to call ICE agents and immigrants on it. Like, wait a minute. You wouldn't call the police when a nigga is robbing you. You wouldn't call the police when a nigga is robbing you. You wouldn't even dare call the police if you see a white boy in your neighborhood. But yet, someone from Jamaica, and by the way, she wasn't that lady. If that image is true, because I never seen anybody that bleached before. That was a bleached woman. If that is true, then I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. So you're going to end up selling out your own people. And by the way, they are your people. They just speak a different total language. So we can cut out the FBA shit. So you're going to sell out your own people who own their own business. And the food might have been bad that day. But they're there and they've been there for I don't know how long or how many years. 3 weeks later, you drive back by there, I don't know why, and they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. The ICE picked them up and took them out of there. That's what we're going to be doing. And I've argued plenty of times about this one individual who won't stop being so belligerent in his thinking, but apparently people are who they are, and he claims he's mulatto or whatever. Say, I call ICE on every immigrant that I see. I'm like, why? Because they're not supposed to be here. I say, you're no different from you're no different from the Ku Klux Klan, dude. You are no different from the Ku Klux Klan. No one has bothered you. No one has bothered you to the point where you have to call on an agency to get them deported. You don't know if they have family here. They're just living their everyday lives. You're just miserable as fuck. What type of a man are you to I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not fucking get it. Maybe it's a race thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a race thing. Maybe it's a sexist thing. Today's show in Minneapolis. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is about people nowadays. I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. But I do know that the Black Panthers must rise. So January 7th, 2025, they good. So January 7th. Black Panthers, stand up, stand up, stand up. Black Panthers are here. Black Panthers are, oh, they're back. You said Black Panthers are back. They never left. Black Panthers never left. They just stayed in silent, only to come out when necessary. And this is the necessary time. 2025, they good, a white woman was killed by some ICE agents. I had a good amount of people hit me up and tell me to cover this story and give my opinions on it. And speaking of the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther movement, I'm proud. I am proud for the simple fact that um, the organizer and the leader of the Black Party actually um, step in and did what he had to do, what his organization, what his party had to do, um, to rid them boys of doing any more damage. So he was in Philadelphia, and some cops came up and started asking him a whole bunch of questions, and they weren't backing down in no shit. They weren't backing down on nothing. Hey, Barb, I'm proud of them boys. Uh, I wish I was in Philadelphia and being in that same position. So if you ever are in the area in Las Vegas, I think I'm gonna have to hit you guys up. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to hit you guys up. Someone asked me if I would join the Black Panthers. I was like, I'll join. I'll probably would join the. I'll probably would join them, but that would be a decision I would have to think for myself. Um, why would I? Why would I join? Because number one, I would feel like I would have. I feel like I finally would belong to someone who actually gives a shit. Black first, mind you, black first always. But the other part of it is that it's the other thing that they do. It's not just that they defend, they help pretty much almost anybody who was in need, and they love their community. That would be the reason why, right? If you don't do any harm to me, I'm not going to do any harm to you. It's that simple. It is that damn simple. Now, my reason at first for not covering this story, not to sound harsh or anything, rest in peace to the young lady, but I just simply didn't care. It is so frustrating being a black person living in America, an African American. We have been trying to tell everyone time and time and time again how America truly is. You know, we've seen this story before. Breonna Taylor, Lil Tamir Rice. I remember being a kid and my pop sitting me down like, you not playing with no more toy guns. I'm a kid. I'm like, bro, why I can't play with toy guns? Like, I love Nerf guns. As I'm older now, I understand the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen these stories time and time again. And, you know, it's just such a slap in the face, man. I get online every other day. I'm seeing a new person. Oh, well, I should have never voted for Donald Trump. This is not what I voted for. Bro, all of these things that we're seeing was literally in Project 2025. Folks have been telling you all this shit. And this isn't a situation where I'm like, oh, y'all should have voted for Kamala. At the end of the day, bro, you really got to pick a side. And I'm going to give y'all a great analogy. Let's go back to 1865. You either with the Confederacy or the Union. Both sides do not give a fuck about black people. But imagine being black at that time and saying, yeah, both sides is bad. I ain't voting for either. It is very unfortunate right now with everything, you know, going on with ICE. Y'all know I got love for every group, especially my black immigrants, okay? But black people have did their job. If you take a look at the election numbers, majority of black people did not vote for this. Now, on the other hand, you look at immigrants and
damn near half of them voted for this shit. So it's just like, at what point will black people understand that we are really all we have? Everything that black people stand for benefits everyone. And I say this all the time. But on the other hand, it's like a lot of these folks try to go against us and end up hurting themselves. Listen, we have been going through this shit for 400 years in America. And no one still wants to listen. So, hey, man, we got to start showing some tough love. Now, with the young lady Renee Good passing away, it has sparked a lot of protests. And it seems like the Black Panther Party is back.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for self-defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now. You did carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means if shotgun shells are shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public's going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people will do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people.
I
Ooh.
give big respect to anyone that is going boots on the ground. And
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, y'all motherfuckers are making me homesick. Mm, mm. Too bad they're not around here. But if I catch them, but if I catch them on a good day, I might just have to see what's up. I mean, I can go part time if I wanted to. You go part time or full time. Go part time. I might just have to do that. But at any rate, I was just I was just checking up on y'all, seeing up how y'all doing. Um, I am planning on, like I said, covering the debate between Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. Uh, let's just see what it do, and hopefully Jasmine comes up on top. I have no problems with James Tallarico whatsoever. Um, the best of luck to both of them. I don't know. I want you to look at more videos of them before you investigate. Videos of who? The Black Panthers? I've had showings with them more than once. They're good. They are good. I mean, there's nothing have to question yet. I don't. We'll talk and we'll talk some more. But I am definitely familiar with their history. I am definitely familiar with their history, and I definitely uh know strengths and weaknesses. So I'm good. I am definitely good. Yes, the group Panthers uh with that political leader. I bet you I think his name is Home Flower or something. I bet you he's good. I bet you he is good. Power to the people. I bet you he is definitely excellent. But he's from Philly. There are others here that I've met. Even when I went to Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde's lectures, I met the Black Panthers that he was with then. So everything's good. Everything is good. If they need more help, if they shout it out, they need more help. Uh, I might just have to do some part-time work over there. As a matter of fact, I have to think on that. I definitely would have to think on that, and I will definitely let you guys know. I wish I would have done this in my 30s, though. I wish I would have done this in my 30s. I'm in my 40s. Um, ain't no spring chicken like I used to be. I would definitely would have to get in shape. I would definitely have to uh, upgrade my awareness and my arsenal, if you will. I definitely would have to upgrade my arsenal. That was beautiful. Why do the people hate the Black Panthers for feeding the children? What do so many people hate all the good things about what the Black Panthers did? Propaganda. Propaganda in itself. White folks are back then weren't used to a black man saying the word no. As a matter of fact, white folks weren't used use of a black man weren't in use of a black man uh talking talking in parables, talking in sentences, being educated, knowing the laws, knowing not just a book of laws, but the sections, the articles, reading articles, being experienced in medicine, math, science, social studies. It was illegal then because of people like Ronald Reagan and I don't think Jimmy Carter. Certain presidents who legalized it and made it so that people get a fair shake, a fair opportunity. White people weren't used to that. They weren't used to people who sat in the front of the bus. Fast forwarding, you wouldn't you would expect a nigga to be strapped. You would definitely expect a nigga to be strapped. No one expected, and to be perfectly honest, they got all their knowledges from Nat Turner. Believe it or not, they got all their knowledges and acknowledgement, not acknowledgement, but their knowledge and their ability from Nat Turner himself. When Nat Turner went rogue and started killing the white masters, all the white masters along with the women and children. Why the women and children? Because they're going to grow up and do the exact and copy, paste, and repeat the exact same things that the slave master before them have done. I mean, think about it. Your best friends. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about back then. Back then, little kids were best friends. Little black kids were best friends with the white kids. But knowingly, they could not play with each other. They could not play with each other. They couldn't even damn near coexist with one another. And years later, after that, when they're all grown up, where's that black kid? In the field with the rest of them. Where's the white kid? In the big house with his pops. So we are Gen Sixers. I don't even know what the hell that means. I heard that earlier today. Gen Sixers. It's like, listen, I don't want to be nothing but a. I don't want to be nothing but a black man who is an African descendant of my own clan. That's what I want to be. I want to be a Pan African. That's what I want to be. I want to study more about Pan Africanism. All this infighting back and forth, that it does nothing for nobody. You're talking apples and oranges. No, no one's talking to you. You must be white. Um, for those black people who get it, um, more than likely, if we don't stop this nonsense about the whole and I'm talking about the whole FBA thing. I mean, let's just say we get the notoriety, they get the notoriety that they wanted. Where do they go from there? Where do you go from there? It's like, do we build? Do we strive? Or do we survive? What do we do? Do we demand certain things from certain people? Do we get political? What do we do as FBAers? Niggas have not figured that out yet. Niggas have not figured that out yet. Do you know what happened to all the love? Do you know what happened to all the love we have for one another? Cause back in the 70s, it was a lot of love for one another. Hmm. It got lost in the sauce when the dollar was really relevant. It got lost in the sauce when crack cocaine and gentrification came about. And I'm not saying we are fully responsible for selling and pushing the rock to our loved ones. I'm not saying that we're fully responsible for that, but we participated in our destruction. But on the other hand of it, on the other side of it, there are leaders who are willing and able to give us our own economy. But sad to say, no one wanted our own economy. In other words, no one wanted our own economic base. No one wanted to build Black America anymore. No one wanted to build a Black America anymore. But you have Hockey Town, Court Town, Mexican Town, a Hispanic town, Chinatown, but you don't have a Black town. Why is that? Where's your distributions? Where's your grocery stores? Where are your actual networks? You don't even own and control the satellites or in orbit. So what do you do? What do you do? What up, Maurice? Montrese? Segregation became Segregation became illegal in the US, but racism still, not just racism, prejudiceness. People were afraid because of the knowledge you possess, not just coming from here, but coming from within. Why do they think? Why do they think they're if they can't kill you, they're gonna replace you? It's as simple as that. And look, and we should already start learning the lessons in the Donald Trump era right now. But I want you to heed what Jesse Ventura stated. If you have not studied not 1930 Nazi Germany, I think it's time for you to start having one of those book conversations. You did, and also figure out how we as a people are going to flip over the Dred Scott decision, because they don't respect you then, they don't respect you now. You gotta get that. We gotta get people together. We gotta get that money together. And for those who aren't with it. It's that simple. And I do agree. But guess what? We're not dead yet. We are still here. We are still alive. But make no mistake. People say, right, don't get involved with ICE. Don't get involved in their business. Don't get involved with ICE. Don't get involved with them. You're already involved. It's not just illegals that they want to deport, is your black ass too. And it's been proven throughout months that your black ass is just as much as in danger as the Hispanics, just as much in danger as that white woman who got shot in the head. You're just as in danger. Look at what happened with Keith Porter's situation. All he was doing, reportedly, was just celebrate New Year's and pop his gun in the air, which I do question that. I mean, there are fireworks, but if you want to pop your gun in the air, whatever, as long as it's in the air, but you got to worry about those bullets coming back down. But hey, it is what it is. They just don't evaporate in midair. They don't evaporate. They go up and they come right back down. But anywho, he wasn't pointing at ice. He wasn't pointing at no ICE agent. All right. But they killed him anyway. A 43-year-old man of two children. Devastating to this day. It's almost similar to um not Fidel Castro. The one brother that got shot in the car and his baby was in the back seat and they filled his little chair full of holes. If you know who I'm talking about. People can learn a lot from Jesse. Yes, they can. And I'm amazed. There are very few white folks that I would definitely listen to about certain things about America. There are very few. Him and George Carlin. I always go back and listen to his tapes. I always go back and listen to his tapes, and I listened to him when he was on Bill Maher. He's incredible, man. He is incredible. How can I leave? Okay, and I will help the generation over 50. How can how can the 60-year olds help the younger generation? Tell the truth. Because that's all they want to. That's what the people of today need to hear from the people of yesteryears. I would say most of the baby boomers and most of Gen Xers, and I'm a Gen Xer, there's some mistakes that we have made, and then there was some special things that we have actually done. But the one thing we did not do was pass on generational wealth to our children or pass on any at least some type of knowledge, some type of understanding towards our young ones. I am forever this to this day trying to figure out how I can put my son and my daughter in position for them to win. And it's not betraying your own. It's not betraying your own. It's not, you know, just doing what you want to do. Is doing what you do for the best, for the sake of your community. There once was a a, a, a particular programs being put in place for free for our generation to strive and thrive and compete, to be competitors with whites, to be competitors with Asians. But slowly but surely, the funding went out. Ask your mayors, ask your mayors, ask your mayors, ask your legislators, ask your senators why we don't have programs for our youth. Ask them. Hold their feet to the fire. It's just like I tell you all the time about Jasmine Crockett. You gotta hold her feet to the fire. If we're gonna put her in that seat, we're gonna put her in that position. We got to hold her feet to the fucking fire. At the same time, we're gonna support our sister, but you know, not to become a celebrity, but to put us at least in position to be competitive. I'm not saying give us reparations because no one is going to give you reparations. No politician, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one is going to give you what you want. You have to take it by force. Because if they weren't giving it to you, if they weren't giving it to you 2 centuries ago, what the hell makes you think they're going to give it to you right now? You don't even know who you are, and there are less of you. There are less and less of you. You're 13% of the population, but you don't even get along with your brothers and sisters on the continent. You don't even get along with your brothers and sisters here. So what makes you think you're going to get something if you can't sit at the table and say, look, we have our differences, right? We have our differences, but right now we have to figure out how to get either this money or this land so we can separate from those who want to harm us, for those who want to kill us. Nobody wants to do that under FBA or ADOS. Nobody wants to do all that. And this is the reason why you're stuck in this position. And you're going to continue to get stuck. You're going to blab, 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 jab all day on the internet. But the one thing I will say about ADOS is they are an actual movement that I can respect. Because they absolutely are putting in work, not just talking shit on the internet. But I don't agree with everything Yvette Cornell says. How about putting aside our differences? Too much to handle for you, huh? Just putting aside our differences and quit fucking around and do what we have to do for the betterment of our children. And this is the reason why our children are so upset and so confused about what's going on. Apparently, this is part of our fault, but we can fix things if we stop with the the jabber blabber. If you want to be a foundational Black America, fine, be that. But know what's at stake. These people will drag your black ass out to an island that you ain't never been to before. All because of your skin tone. All because of your skin tone. And they're gonna ask you, are you legal here? And if you say that you are, you have to prove that you're legal here. You have to prove that by birth certificate, aka by birth certificate, and or some type of paper trail or something like that. You have to prove it by way of birth certificate or green card. And who has time to go all the way home to get a birth certificate? Are you from this country? Yeah, I was born and raised here. Let me see some papers right now. You want to see my license? No, I want to see your papers right now. Sounds like 1933. Exactly. Where soldiers who were, well, soldiers who replaced police officers or peace officers were roaming neighborhoods and roaming the streets, and tanks were going up and down the neighborhoods. And you think I want that for my family? Something goes wrong, and the military ain't no joke, but it's also illegal. It is illegal under the Insurrection Act. It is very illegal. You're not supposed to have military trained soldiers on prefricating and gyrating on American soil. But I'm just kicking it with y'all for a little bit because I have some things on my mind. But go ahead and we'll definitely tune in on Saturday, the 24th, where Jasmine Crockett will be um, debating James Tallarico Saturday. I don't know what time, but I will definitely give you the heads up. And Jess, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love y'all, and y'all have a good blessing the rest of your day.